Since 1929, our third Wednesday of the month, Middletown Luncheon Club provides great food, quality community gathering, and interesting local speakers. Come join us.
This is my third State of the County, and yeah, this probably will be the shortest one. I have hit the Lower Lake Action Committee group. I've also hit the Middletown Area Town Hall. And basically, just what I'd like to talk about right off the bat is my first year in office. Just been over a year now. It's been a big learning curve, obviously, but I'll tell you, I really enjoy working with the folks at the county. Carol Hutchinson, our CAO, I think is a phenomenal individual that's working hard on your behalf here in the county, and all the other folks at the county. Every frontline employee is doing everything that they can with limited resources. So the first thing I want to talk about is the training program that I got to go through. For the first time for the Board of Supervisors, myself and Tina Scott got to meet with every head of department for the first 6 months. It had never been done before. I got to sit with every department, talk with each director, understand what their needs are, what they're lacking, and where they would like to go to help the county as we move forward. And so I thought that was excellent. I do not know how they did it in the past not to get that opportunity to go through the training. So I just want to give Carol all props on that and let her know that it really allowed me to really have some in-depth information. And when it came to budgeting for the first time in my career as a Board of Supervisor, I had a lot of information. Basically what I was able to talk about with each head of department in the county was exactly what we went over in the budget. So the other three members on the board heard it for the first time then, but I had heard it over 6 months, a process that we had gone through, myself and Tina, spending every day, Tuesdays. Some days we had to go on a Friday because if you're doing special districts, you cover the entire county. If you're going to, sat with district attorney, we sat with everybody and to understand the needs of each director and how they want to help the county move forward. Now, obviously, elected officials have their own stuff that they're working through, but understanding how we're all going to work together to make this place safe, obviously economically sound, and a good place that we can give the services to our constituents that they need. And I know we got a lot of work to do on that as we move forward. This year also, what we did for the first time was we had the visioning forums. We wanted to do that a little bit earlier in the year, but obviously we had the devastating Sulphur fire and the Tubbs fire that kind of pushed those dates on out. So we just did those last month. The visioning forum, I think, is something excellent as we move forward as a county. I would like to have those at least once a year or biannually as a District 1 supervisor, so I hear from you on where we want to go. What I want to work towards, and I think other folks in the county do too, is having a long-term strategic plan of where we're going to go as a county and as a community. Everybody has ideas, but unless we get that strategic plan together and say this is a goal no matter who's sitting as District 1 supervisor on the board, this is where we're moving towards to improve the county, it really is just ideas coming in kind of hodgepodge. I'd really like to see a 50-year strategy and even a 100-year strategy if we could get that together. And not only economic-based, but also social-based where we're going. How to address the issues that we have here in the county. Obviously, as you know, we are one of the poorest counties in the state of California. I don't think we're number one anymore. Hopefully we're number 2, and we're working up that ladder. But these are things that we need to put together so we can work our way out of that and make this a safe, vibrant community that's good, with good education in schools and economic job and opportunities here to keep our local homegrown youth here working in our county. So that's kind of, a real quick, and I'll be talking here for a while, but those are kind of the most interesting things that I think have happened over this year. As a District 1 supervisor, obviously rebuilding our community has been the number one thing that I have been inundated with. If I haven't been out, if I haven't been out to a job site, to a friend of yours or something, that's most of the calls that I get. It's either building permit problems that we have. It's in Anderson Springs. It is with FEMA, with the new floodplain, the waterways. That's an issue there. We have the sewer system going into Anderson Springs, and then we have just the general issues. When you built the house in 1950, to build a home now, there's so many more requirements. It is just a landmine of issues that I've been dealing with all around. And not only here in Middletown, Hidden Valley, Anderson Springs, but also for the Clayton, the Rocky, and the Jerusalem fire. Though there are still issues going on up there. So we are 3 years in. We're getting close to around 450 permits out. We probably have about 125 to 150 homes that are completed. There are others in different stages. So we're really only about a third of the way of where we need to be. When I was running for office, figured it'd be a 5 to 7 year building process. And it really is turning out to be that way. Now we've got a lot of work to do because there were some stumbling blocks, I think. We ran into some issues in the community development department as far as having lack of staff, folks that could go out and do inspections. We lost some plans, folks, and we're slowly but surely building back that that workforce in that area. And so it is starting to improve. We got a long ways to go, but it's something, matter of fact, I'll be up there this afternoon dealing with an issue. It's something we're dealing with on a daily basis to help us rebuild our community. There are a lot of positives, I think, that are coming out of it, though. There are a lot of folks that are rebuilding, that have made decisions to do that. And each day you go by, you see a new foundation or new home coming up. Whether it's a manufactured home or it's a stick-built home, those things are happening. We've got a long ways to go, though, and that'll be something I focus on all the time. Each day, like I said, taking those phone calls. I probably got a couple on my phone right now before I leave today and trying to address those issues. A couple other things. When I ran for office, I said that I'll make myself available. I do have office hours at the Gibson Museum. If you want to meet with me, you can either call my cell phone, 707-533-9615, or you can email me at moke.simon@lakecountyca.gov. I've had plenty of meetings over there. It's a good office space. It's working well so far. I'll be working on this year putting together an office in Lower Lake so I can rotate the days, some days here in Middletown, some days in Lower Lake, so I can sit there and meet with the constituents. I know it's tough to get up there at 9 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday, and so I want to be available for issues here locally and be available as much as possible. I'm proud to do that. I enjoy it, and like I said, I've met with plenty of folks over at the Gibson, and now I'll have an office in Lakeport hopefully by the middle of the summer here. And the reason we're doing that is we're revamping the county-owned old bank there in Lower Lake for some meeting space and other things, so we can have an office there so we can meet in Lower Lake. Looking at our entire community as we move forward, I really enjoyed the visioning forum. I didn't have to stand up and talk, but just for a couple of minutes, I got to listen and understand the frustrations. And so hopefully, with everything that we took out of those meetings, we can really start to move together as a community and as a whole. Number one thing on that list, as far as that came out of the visioning forums, was economic development. When I ran for office, that was something else that I was passionate about. Economic development is something we're going to have to do to work our way out of the situation that we're in. We need more property tax, we need more opportunities in that manner. And I know we don't always agree on everything, but economic development came out as the number one focus in those visioning forums. And there was 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, rebuilding, fire rebuild was number 2. And it kind of went down the list. So I'm excited about that because the community feels the same way I do. And we can do that as a whole here in the county by enveloping everything that we have. We've done a great job over the last 20 years building a great agricultural industry, especially with the grapes. We want to talk about agritourism, but you can only have agritourism when you have somewhere for people to stay. There's only about 440 hotel rooms in Lake County. If we really want to turn this into a great tourism for the ag industry, you can't come up and drink wine all day and drive all the way back to the Bay Area. We need places for them to stay, and we need opportunities for them to enjoy themselves while they're here. And we want to do, part of our plan would be come enjoy us, give us your tax dollars, and then head back to the Bay Area and we'll see you next month. And that's kind of the way, hopefully we can kind of develop ourselves as we move forward. Obviously, the other thing that's very important and passionate to me is the lake. A long-term lake management plan. Cecilia Aguilar-Curry has done a great job at the state. We got AB 707 that has got started. We're going to set up a working group. It'll have to meet 4 times a year as we get that going. That'll be publicized as we move forward. There's about 30 years of testing from UC Davis on our lake. Now what we need to do is we need to compile that into a form that we could work with here locally. We need to look at the phosphorus loading, all the inflow into the lake, and figure out how we manage. And so we're starting that process, so I'm excited about that. I won't get to enjoy that, but my grandkids and their grandkids hopefully will be able to put a program together that will be a lake management program that'll bring the beauty to that lake that we know that can be there. It'll never be blue like Tahoe. That's one thing I've learned over the past year. Ours is the oldest natural lake, so it is only average about 25 feet deep. It will never be blue like Lake Tahoe. We're always going to have kind of a greenish lake. It'll be a little bit clearer, but we don't want it to be too clear. We want it to be kind of an aqua green, and that means it's a healthy lake. Not the pea soup green, the aqua green. And that's what we're working towards. I know there's another, Jim Steele, who's on the AB 707 committee with me, is very passionate about it. And I think as we move through the process over the next few years, we'll be able to do that. And the exciting thing is, there's $2 million right now, and there'll be more money coming down the pipe as we move through the process to managing the lake. I'll do questions in a few minutes if you don't mind. I won't cut and run it right at 1 o'clock. Like I said again, very exciting year as we move forward the process, but we are in a situation now, I think, in a transition for the county. We had the visioning forums. We were very open about where our budgets are and what we're looking at over the next 3 to 5 years. And if we don't change some things and really start to transform ourselves into what I think it needs to be, an economic engine here for kind of the North Bay to come and enjoy our beautiful outdoor natural resources, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be making decisions down the road that we don't want to make. I personally would just like to focus on economic development, really bringing ourselves into the light of who we are. I'm proud to say that we need to rebrand ourselves. We need to come up with a marketing program that really says who we are here in Lake County and what we have to offer. And we need to work on that as many hours as possible. I know I'm stretching a million different directions. I do wish there was 2 of me, but there's only 1. So we're going to try and do those things as we move forward here in the county. I'm excited that we as a board, all 5 members, are looking at different options too when we talk about bringing back housing. I brought up to the board about tiny homes. Tiny homes, I think, is an opportunity for some of our markets as they're rebuilt. Anderson Springs, Siegler Springs. I think there's unique opportunities that may help young folks and others get back into homes when they didn't have an opportunity. We want to make sure that we're looking at all aspects as we move through the process and rebuilding our community, that we look at everything that may give everybody an equal foot and equal opportunity to get started in home ownership. I think that's a huge part of who we are, making sure that you're vested in the community as we move forward. Education, our young folks, coming up and working with not only the colleges but the high schools, but some vocational skills, how we're training and working with our folks here locally. Obviously, rebuilding is a big part of that. Labor. You know, I think that we have some great opportunities in hospitality that we need to be focusing on, especially if we're going to go after hotel operations and agritourism. We need to have that workforce there as we move and we grow. We obviously have a very large industry, the largest geothermal operations here in our backyard. I think we need to be looking at opportunities for young folks to be in welding and other opportunities, and also computers. I'm not a computer guy, but as we move forward, I got 2 phones and an iPad. Never had that before in my life. And that's the next generation and how we're going to be operating. So we need to concentrate on IT and other things here, both in the colleges and high schools, as we move forward, because that is going to be the next generation, the way we're moving. And we need to also concentrate on infrastructure. Cecilia Aguilar has talked about it, but I know we need to improve our infrastructure all the way across the county. We need to work on Wi-Fi opportunities, because we could be a bed and breakfast, or not a bed, we could be an opportunity, a bedroom community for the Silicon Valley. We currently have folks that live here and drive to the Silicon Valley every day. But if we can improve on the infrastructure, I think that'll bring more opportunities and different types of constituents that live here in the county. So I think that's a unique opportunity as we move forward also. As far as the first year, it's flown by. I got 3 to go. I want to get some stuff implemented as we move forward. Hopefully over the next 3 years, it'll be economic development, like I said again, moving here in our neighborhood, both from here to Lower Lake and all the way through the county. I think there's unique opportunities that we offer that no one else does. Number one being the lake and the outdoor natural resources that we have. Here in Middletown, we are the gateway to the Bay Area. As soon as they come over that mountain, what they see from us is going to be the first impression. So we need to work hard on that. Whether it's cutting down some of the beetle trees as soon as you come over the mountain, whether it's looking at some of the fencing and opportunities as you drive through town. Also looking at what projects we're going to be doing here locally in town. I know Math is looking at potentially a sidewalk project. There's the 29 corridor project that we did, the improvement projects that we're looking at. Those will all be important down the road as we move forward and showing a good face for Lake County as they come into it. And like I say, we are the gateway community and we need to continue improving that way. I think this park is one part of that. Great to have sidewalks and other things. Still working on, one personal thing I'm working on, hopefully with Math and Caltrans, is getting some lighted crosswalk signs. That one to me, it really is, I don't like to say it, but I am getting older. And at night, it's a little tough to see in those crosswalks. So we got some lighted up ones that bring more attention and opportunity as people are coming through. We do have some exciting projects going on, whether you agree with it or not. I know in 2018, this August, they'll be doing the roundabout out by Hidden Valley. Hopefully that will help with the flow of traffic at night. We do have a traffic jam. I am currently a commuter. I'd never been before, but I commute from the South County to North County, and there's actual traffic in Lake County, and we need to figure that out. Every night when I come back from the board, I get there's a stop sign coming home, and man, the traffic's all the way to Bar X. So hopefully that'll help with that continuation of the traffic, and hopefully, give us a little bit of a break on that. And that's a unique opportunity, I think, coming up. We also have the 175 project that's going to be going on, the safety project from here to Dry Creek Bridge, or for the Dry Creek Bridge out to Anderson Creek Bridge. I'm not sure the other name of that one, the other bridge. So they're going to be doing that widening project in 2019. So there's going to be some opportunities to move through. What I want to do is open up for questions because people keep raising their hands, and I want to give them the opportunity to do that. First of all, I want to thank everybody for the support. You can quit saying it now. Some people call me and say I voted for you. Just to let you know, even if you didn't vote for me, I'm the supervisor and I'm going to work just as hard for you. You don't got to say I voted for you. I'm in, okay? So I will work just as hard, if you voted for me, if you didn't, all 9,700 people that were, they didn't all vote, but everybody, I'm the District 1 supervisor and I'll work as hard as I can for you. I will get you the information when you ask me a question. You may not like it, and I might not even like it, and I'll explain it to you, but I will get you that information. And hopefully you'll be mad at me or you'll like me, one of the way or the other. And just a prime example, you think in government everything should be easy. But now I know why we kind of move slow. Simple issue, and it's probably, I may get asked today, but Trailside Park. Trailside Park will be opening up probably by the end of the month for horses, walking. We're not going to do a big opening because we've got a lot of work to do on it before we do that. But the wood piles that are out there, the wood that's cut, I've got 1 million phone calls on the wood. You can't do a gift of public funds. That wood is out there. Me, myself, personally, I'm like, what? We're not using it? Get rid of it. Can't do it. So in government, there are so many rules that slow you down that common sense doesn't sometimes play into it. So if I give you an answer, it's not because I like it, it's because the way it is. So I just want to make that very clear. And I've got a lot of calls. I even got calls about the wood from this facility, and that's the answer, and I'll keep answering it the same way. Can't do a gift of funds, and that's just another rule that I don't like as far as being a county board of supervisors, following the government's red tape. So enjoyable first year. What I would like to do is I'll open this up to questions. I want to thank Beth for inviting me down. I was sick last time. I apologize I couldn't make it. I will always reschedule. If you want me here more often than just once a year, ask. If I can make myself available, I will be available because that's what I'm supposed to do. And that's the only way, I think, whether I like it or not, that I need to operate the government, because Whether you're mad at me or you're not, we need to sit down and talk and get each other's views on the table and figure out a solution. So thank you very much. I appreciate being here today. Now let's get some questions. I will repeat the question. There was somebody harvesting the blue-green algae, the stuff off of the lake. They were doing it for no cost. The county came back, said we wanted to share that, and then they pulled out. They said, no, we can't cover the operating costs. We can't do it that way. From my understanding, there was a couple different conversations that happened. Not only was a conversation, there was a conversation, from what I understand, about a little more money for the county. I understand that. But also what came up in that was some of the algae wasn't as clean. They were going to harvest it and then use it to eat and other things. And there were some chemicals in there that they couldn't do it. So the product wasn't as pure as they thought. And so there was, it was kind of give and take. So a little bit of truth to both sides of that. But most of it was they were going to use that somewhere else as a food supplement or something, or some type of a herbal thing. And yeah, and it wasn't pure enough. So so truth to both, I guess you would say. So the Maha group out at Langtree, the Lotus group, it's a construction project out at Gwinnett. So the Maha group, the Lotus group, currently where we're at from the county standpoint is an environmental impact report needs to be done as they move through the process. As that happens, once the environmental impact report, there'll be public comment, there'll be all those opportunities for the county to weigh in, but there is a large project to be built out there. What we know right now, on paper that has been presented so far, there are no drawings or anything, 1,200 hotel rooms, 1,200 homes potentially for the resort, which includes equestrian, outdoor concert theater, all types of things. But we don't have a drawing. That's where we're at right now as far as that project goes. We're not like the larger municipalities down in the Bay Area where we can give all kinds of tax credits and all those things. We're not in the position for that. But I think what we have to offer here, if we can get the visioning forum put together and really focus on what came out of those visioning forums, is that we are looking for economic development here. And so I think what we have to offer is when some of those projects come to the board, that we make progressive decisions to back up what our communities have put on paper. So that's what I think we have to offer, and that's the direction we need to move as we move forward. I really believe once we get some stuff in here, once it starts to happen, we know that City of Clear Lake is doing some things. You have Tractor Supply, and you have Big Five going into the old Ray's building. That is happening. There's a little bit of positive movement forward. Here in District 1, we got to take those steps when it comes to the board that we do it. We have the fast track going in down here at the Chevron station. I think that'll be starting this year. So there are other opportunities as they come to the table. We need to be making progressive decisions on that. So I think that's what we have to offer. And then also looking at the long-term rebranding and what we're doing as a county here. There is a stigma out there, that Lake County is very poor. It's not a good county to live in. We all live here because we love it. It's beautiful. We know the people that are here are beautiful. And as we move forward, we need to get that message out there. And that is something that we need to work diligently towards, both at the county level and at the business level here throughout the county, to really market ourselves as who we are. Right now, there's only one commercial that's advertising Lake County, and that's coming from the casino at this point, Twin Pine Casino and Hotel. If you haven't seen the commercial, I'm proud of that commercial. It shows the vineyards, it says what we have to offer. It also advertises us, but we're looking at showing what we have, because we bring thousands of people in and we want to say, hey, if you're going to be here for a while, if we can really build that destination resort up, go visit the rest of the county. There's some real unique opportunities. If you haven't been up on the top of Mount Canocti, that's real powerful. You ought to check it out. If you've been to the top of St. Helena, you need to get to the top of Mount Canocti, because that's a pretty neat place. I'll tell you the truth, I didn't hike up there. I got a ride, but I enjoyed it when I was up there. But it's a beautiful trail. But it's powerful. You see the entire county and how beautiful it is. You got the lake, it's unbelievable. Valley Oaks, that is working through the Planning Commission at this Valley Oaks project out by Hidden Valley, the housing project by Hidden Valley. Valley Oaks is working through the process through the Planning Commission. They are on the agenda, I think, tomorrow. So that process is moving forward. Both the county and Valley Oaks both got some work to do. That's the way I'll leave it at that point, but it is moving forward. It is on the agenda, and they're doing the best to work through from both sides. Crazy Creek, Glider Port. if there's any programs. I don't know of anything at the county level for that property. There's going to be an oil stop put in by the Chevron down here. Like Fast Lube, yeah, but it's called Fast Track. Fast Track is the name. I have not heard of a new playground. It hasn't been brought up by Math or anyone else. Not a bad idea, but I have not heard of a new playground. We'd have to find a place for it. There is a playground down by the high school. I know on the county property right there by the pool, there's a small playground right there, but I haven't heard of any other projects. Yeah, and the one at Central Park. The question was about cannabis. As far as the county goes, we are currently having a 6-month workshop, the third Thursday of every month. We just had our last one, which we addressed cultivation here in the county. So we're currently working through that right now. So over the next 6 months, we're working through each month. We're going through a different section of the ordinance, and we're working to have that completed by July. And so we just got done with cultivation. We'll be doing some reading of that in March, and then we'll be addressing manufacturing, distribution, and transportation will be the next step that we're moving through. So the way we're approaching it is we're trying to take out sections, get them completed, vote on them, and then move forward to the next one. The first one, obviously, we were looking to do with the cannabis industry is to address cultivation, because the season is coming up. So if we're going to be planning, they're going to be doing it anyway. We've got to get some rules on the books. People can start getting licensing, doing it the right way, and the ones that aren't, we can start to go after for not doing it the right way. Yes. Those workshops are open to the public. Every third Thursday of the month. I think our next one is March 15th at the Board of Supervisors from 9 to whenever. They say 9 to 11, but we went to almost 1 p.m. to finish the cultivation this month.
And then the decision is made that day?
Well, we give direction, and then they will bring it back at the next workshop. So cultivation, we have basically kind of finished it up. There's some cleanup items they need to do, and then they'll bring it back to us as a board. You know who tells the truth about the tribe is the tribe. So if you ask me, I'll let you know right now that may be something we look at down the road, but right now it hasn't happened. There's a lot of rumors that we bought a lot of things. One thing we did buy, we bought the apartments. We are going to be rebuilding the 50 apartments over there. We're working locally here with Tri-Counties. We just started the due diligence. We bought the property. Somebody else bought it. It fell off. We felt like it was a great investment for the community and for ourselves, and so we're going to be rebuilding those apartments. And everybody's always asking, it'll be open to everybody. You know, and that's another project we're doing, you know, obviously on our side. So we're working hard on that. We really see that as an economic engine for our local businesses, because that'll be a couple hundred people within walking distance of all our businesses the next couple years. So we're excited about that. A couple more questions, is that okay? Airbnb, TOT taxes for our Airbnbs here in the county. We are working on it. I don't have a time frame when it's going to come to the board, but it's been directed, and they are working on it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so we could get the TOT, so we could tax them so they get signed up. We know what they're doing, and the county can get, you know, when you're renting those rooms out, you should be paying TOT. TOT obviously helps the county, helps different departments. Yeah, I know, but Airbnb is here. It's an industry that is here. So we need to make sure that we have rules on the book so we get those tax dollars. I've worked diligently since I've been on the board with Harbin. I was happy to say that Harbin stood up and talked exactly the way we're moving forward, both about the county and about District 1 Super. I've been very aggressive with moving forward with those folks. We even put something on the board not long ago for Harbin Hot Springs to help move forward. They have most of their phase 1 permits, I think, are out there. They're working on those. I can't say when they're going to open up, but hopefully it's here sooner than later. They've done a lot of hard work, and I've done everything that I can as a District 1 supervisor to help those folks move forward through their processes. But absolutely, I've been in coordination with Harbin Hot Springs' management basically from day one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming out. We'll see you in a month.
Since 1929, our third Wednesday of the month, Middletown Luncheon Club provides great food, quality community gathering, and interesting local speakers. Come join us.